Texas, and our first night here, just got here, stopped at the hotel, dropped our bags off, ordered the Uber, and we are heading downtown. So this first place we're gonna check out is called the Firehouse Lounge, and it's kind of a speakeasy environment. So I think we have to open up a bookshelf or something to get to it. Oh yeah, so this speakeasy is legit. If you want an excellent mixed drink, you gotta stop in here. Sorry guys, I gotta go handheld. My gimbal just died, so hey, here it is. So I stopped by the Museum of the Weird, and unfortunately they don't do night tours. I'll save that for tomorrow.
It's like a pretty gnarly blockhead routine. It's a sideshow history and oddities museum. So we have taxidermied animals, shrunken heads, mummies, items from the sideshow period that would have traveled the U.S. during the sideshow period. And then we have a live performance of sideshow performers between blockheads, paranormalists, human oddities. And then we have a wax museum of monster movies like Nosferatu, Dracula, King Kong, that you can actually get in his hands and pose with.
Eventually, and then I got the doubles. Actually.
Bacon cheeseburger. So this burger is like ideal, perfect night food. Oh my god, it's so tasty. Just waking up, our first full day in Austin, and let me tell you, I need some coffee right now. So we're heading to Revival Coffee House and grabbing some coffee, maybe even a sandwich. So let's check it.
I've been living in Austin since February when we took ownership of the coffee shop, and we at Revival like to pride ourselves on our community involvement, so we donate 10% of our profits to local charities. We have these little mason jars right around the corner. We let all of our patrons vote for their favorite charity, and the one at the end of the quarter with the most votes get 10% of our profits. That's what we do here. We make delicious coffee as well. So you can find us on Instagram at revival.coffee, and our website is revivaltexas.com. We also have a food truck lot right outside, usually open at night and the weekends, but Boteco, one of our food trucks, is rated #1 food truck in East Austin. It's worth checking out. Also, we're hoping to have beer and wine in about a month, so we highly recommend coming back for that as well.
All right, caffeinated, I head back to the Museum of the Weird for that tour and that sideshow performance.
Couple of things. One, this building is 140 years old. It is one of the oldest buildings in Austin. It does just look like this back here. Except for that, we added that. That's funny, it's a neon sign. The trapdoor most of you stepped over is just part of the building. I'll open it up for you. Now, it's dirt! Disappointment! So it's full of dirt because all these old buildings do connect to the tunnel system underneath Austin. There are tunnels that go out in 5 miles every direction for the Capitol building. They're used for prohibition, politicians, brothels, brothels to politicians, politicians to brothels. You guys get what I'm saying. Now, if you note over here, you'll see there's enough room for a 6-foot tall person to crawl on his hands and knees. friend Jeffrey tried to dig it out. I thought Jeffrey got to the garbage can. Jeffrey got to the street. Jeffrey should be dead. All we found were those 3 horseshoes up here. We used to sell mules out of here about 100 years ago. Other interesting thing, no, if you fall in, we get to keep it.
You don't want me.
Good answer. Now, other thing. There's a pirate at the front of the store and a pirate back here. The reason for that is a very famous pirate who used to live in this building. Does anybody want to guess who? 2 hints. He's not a real pirate and he's paid by Hollywood. Yes, Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. During the 1991 filming of the movie Gilbert Grape in Austin, Texas, Johnny Depp did want to live downtown. He wanted to drink and he wanted to play music. He lived behind this store here. I'm going to pause here for your who's and your odds. Your first stop's going to be the Wax Museum.
Welcome. A few quick rules, everyone. Steve, the owner of the museum, has collected these figures from different museums that were selling them. A lot of them he's actually dressed himself. And this one over here, the Vincent Price figure, was actually modeled after the owner himself. This is the only one that he built the body himself. So for this figure right here, he literally had to get in this position for the cast. The guy who played the Gillman in The Creature from the Black Lagoon, the guy who played the diving parts, had to hold his breath for 4 minutes at a time, not without creating any bubbles for the shots, which is pretty incredible. It's very hard to do. The Wolfman up here, played by Lon Chaney Jr., which is Lon Chaney's son. His makeup actually took over 3 hours to put on and over 3 hours to take off. The original vampire, my personal favorite, the man who played Nosferatu, Max Schreck, was actually put in an insane asylum after the movie. A rumor was started that he actually was a vampire because he played the part so well, and he was actually very weird on set. Of course, they put people away back then for a lot of different reasons. They could have put him away just because he was such a good actor. Also, Max Schreck was his real name, and Schreck in German means horror. So these 3 figures right here are all of Lon Chaney from the silent era of horror films, also known as the Man of 1,000 Faces. He did his own makeup and often did very crazy, painful things to himself to create many different looks. To play Quasimodo, he actually glued his eyes shut and wore a 40-pound weight on his back, giving himself permanent back damage. To play the vampire in London After Midnight, he flipped his eyelids inside out and taped them down. London After Midnight also is one of the most legendary films ever lost. It was lost in the MGM vault fire. Boris Karloff as the monster, and Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi were huge rivals back then. They both were fighting for the king monster of Universal Pictures. Boris Karloff was much more successful. Bela Lugosi was heavily typecasted as Dracula, but he also loved being Dracula and would make appearances as Dracula everywhere. He was even buried in his Dracula cape. That we got the pieces from Florida from a sandwich shop.
Okay.
And had to carve the sandwich out of his hands. So.
I don't know if I've but let's give it a try. No, not fit.
The man who did all of the monster makeup. The interesting thing about him is that he basically created the Frankenstein look, or the look of the monster in Frankenstein. Nowhere in the books does it describe his looks. It doesn't say he has like the bolts in his neck or the green makeup. That was all Jack Pierce's creation. And this is Prince Randian, who was in the movie. He was born without limbs, and his sideshow performance was that he would roll his own cigarette and smoke it, he also would shave. And that was his performance.
That's everybody, I believe. This is everybody, right? Hey folks, too bright. What is this? Correct. Propane torch, commonly used in cooking, construction, and this. I don't recommend this though. It took away my ability to taste and gave me a patchy beard. The beard is the real tragedy. Tractor. That's fine. I really want to go home. Hi guys. My name is Dan. I'm from the city of Chicago, but one day in the mountains of North Carolina, I met a very strange man who offered to teach me some very strange things, and that put me on a very weird path in life. Now, I am professionally trained. These things took years to learn, but to be a freak, you need three things. One is a lot of free time. Obviously, I didn't go to college. Two, why is that funny? I'm just kidding, look at me. Two is a teacher. I've been very lucky, I've had several. And lastly is that sweet desire to hurt yourself. Now, you folks see that skull in the cabinet? There's a hole in the middle of your face. It's your sinus cavity. Your sinuses do go back roughly 4 inches. Everybody has one, no one's special. About a decade ago, I began the very slow, very painful, and very bloody process of making that hole just a little bit bigger. Can somebody yell out a color?
Purple.
I was not going to pick one. You said purple is the balloon I had chosen, so it's fine. I love my job. I get to scream at people and you all laugh. It's wonderful. Now, most of you already figured this out, but take as many photos and videos as you would like. I won't be able to talk in a second. I lick balloons in front of strangers for money. If you guys are wondering, my parents tell people I'm a tour guide. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's been inside of me, I get it. What? Why did he lick those? What? What's he gonna do? Oh. Guys, I'm just kidding. I am gonna do it. Ow. I'll say this, trade school was an option. I could have been an electrician, maybe a plumber. I'm gonna get these out real slow. Real slow. Now, is everyone okay? Is anybody uncomfortable? No. Good. Art's all about new experiences. Now, 1 6-inch stainless steel spike. People often ask me if it's real. I assure you yes. I would let one of you touch it, but you all know where it's going. You gotta lick it. One's for me and one's for you. All right. By the way, do you guys get it? It's cold. Now, this right here is called the human blockhead. In 1929, when the creator, Melvin Burkhart, showed Robert Ripley of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Robert Ripley said, Melvin, you're a blockhead, and so the act was born. This you will see at every sideshow in the world. What you won't see is someone take one of these. A 10,000-volt stun gun, hit the end of this nail. You folks are going to yell, why? I'm going to say, I don't know. It'll be great, but really quick. I don't actually work here. They let me do this in the back, but given the things I do to myself, nobody pays me. So I do these shows purely for tips. This is my real job. It is how I pay my bills. If you enjoyed the show, if I made you laugh, if I made you cry, if I made her very uncomfortable, please throw something in the bucket. You'll be genuinely helping me and helping me not have to do that anymore. But I get something out of this no matter what. The looks on your faces when I put stuff in mine. is why I started doing this. Now, nobody worry. I do take deputy credit. So, why? For 3 years, I was a waiter at the Olive Garden. Yeah, now you guys understand why I'd rather tase myself in the face than wait. One time I had a guy yell, "I'm a manager at an Olive Garden." I said, "This is your future." Yeah. Alright, here we go. We start thinking about how stupid this is, it gets scary. Oh wait, one more thing. So, my hair is not going to poof out, my eyes are not going to spark. I am just tasing myself in the face for your entertainment! And a kid last week yelled, "That's it?" Yeah, that's it. So with that in mind, one taser, one nail, my face. Museum of the Weird, Austin, Texas. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Okay, that one kicked me in the teeth. I didn't expect that as much. Okay, ta-da! Alright. Okay. I'm not doing that again. You get about 3 before that starts to suck. One of those things I've learned is everybody has a hard line. Can you hold this for me? Don't worry, it hasn't been inside me yet. And one of those things that I've learned is a hard line. For me, it's contortionist. Bending people terrifying. For a lot of people, it's the scissors. That actually made a woman pass out. For most people, it's when you touch your eyes. Yeah, what did we just talk about? Now, we get that? I don't have a name for this yet, but I've been calling it Dancing Queen. Yeah, this show has an avid joke. He's a genius! Now, it's 1985 under the sea prom. And the room is shut. Y'all look so good right now. Does anybody want to slow dance?
No, never does.
Now, I'm going to pop this out because these are excruciatingly painful, but I end on the hooks for a reason. They make me cry. Wait, I just want you guys to know this was a really special tour here tonight. And I'm never going to forget you. I do have one last thing to do. What? It's flu season in Texas. Folks, genuinely thank you all so much. I'm very lucky that a very stupid hobby turned into a very fun job. At the end of the show, I'd like to ask, does anybody have any questions?
Why?
For money! Fair question. Anybody else? I also know a lot about Buffy.
Hey.
You know, Vampire Slayer, the TV show on 20 years ago. She was a high school girl that hunted vampires. It's canceled, and I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. It's no big deal. Nobody wants to talk about it. Talk about it. For the record, that joke is not killed in 2 years in this building, and I've made it every single show. I love Buffy, so get over it, guys. Now.
In the Upper Peninsula, conditions that became all too familiar to these ice fish.
It's so strange, so unusual, you know.
Take a look at this home video.
I got it. Come on. Yeah. Oh, no. Come on. Take a little line. Here we go. Holy! My golly, what is it? What the heck is it? You ever see anything like that, Brian?
No.
Oh, it looks like a trout. It's got trout fins on it. That's strange.
It's got fur. It's so cold down there, they grow fur.
A trout with fur. Seems hard to believe, but an expert with the Foundation of Odd Lake Species says that's exactly what it is.
Well, I wrote the name down because it's so unusual. There's 2 types, and I don't know if you get a close-up of it, but this is an Aquatrautosaurus first. And it's very, very rare, yeah.
This fur-covered fish is more simply known as a frout.
They have really sharp teeth, too. You should watch it here.
It's certainly something these northern Michigan fishermen have never pulled up on their hooks.
Jack. I work here at Malone's Coffee in Austin, Texas. So we serve up locally sourced organic coffee every day out of the food truck. It's kind of an Austin thing. Yeah, and I mean, we're pretty much here just keeping the city caffeinated. So that's it, dude.
Alright, so I just picked up a Austin Dream. Tasty. Next stop is Voodoo Donuts. Let's take a moment and admire the various designs and creativity in the showcase. Oh man, I don't even know which one to pick.
What we do here is just pretty much like just be ourselves and just give what we have. Creativity is the name of the game, and what customers usually can expect is just like, you know, nothing but themselves, you know, talking to other people and just getting the taste of what creativity is, honestly. I'm yeast and I love it. Like, I always come to work and it's like always fun. And like, people will hear our music. Obviously, I'm a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, but sometimes you'll just walk in on like a 4 o'clock, you know, morning, and then you'll just hear like death metal, but like family friendly and all that stuff. It gets crazy. It goes to the line. The line goes all the way to the door, and we'll be slammed, but it's honestly like the best time of the day. Inspiration is right there on the wall. Alejandro, he is our donut god. But yeah, pretty much the inspiration is just like, you know, quirky designs that are just meant for like all year round, like entertainment. So like, we got the Voodoo Donuts. Like, we don't always like make the same thing. Deco in the back, they will do their own thing. Like sometimes I'll go in the back and I'll make a cat head. Just that's whenever we feel like it. It's honestly what we decide what we want to put on it, and people usually like it half the time. I gotta say, keep Austin weird. Yeah, that's literally all I have to say.
Great. So let's dive right into these donuts. These are what they suggested for me. I gave them my complete and utter blind trust here. They gave me their signature Voodoo Doll donut. Very light and fluffy donut body with a raspberry filling. This is like a chocolate covered raspberry. This came in second place of the 3 that I taste right now. Next up is the Vicious Hibiscus. Obviously, if you like any kind of hibiscus or really any kind of sweet berry sweetness, this one's sweet and you'll undoubtedly appreciate its flavor. This one came in third place for me. And finally, my number 1, the Dirty Old Bastard. Think about it as like a cookies and cream, but replace the cream with peanut butter. It has a wonderfully airy donut body, a creamy icing littered with lightly crunchy Oreo-like chunks, and peanut butter drizzle on top. Now let's take the Sugar Shock energy to go.
Hey ghouls, creeps, and undead peeps, this is Joey Slane, and welcome to the Glass Coffin Vampire Parlor. We are a vampire-themed shop located in Austin, Texas. We are the Bat City, and inside the shop you'll find an array of vintage items, macabre, curiosities, antiques, some taxidermy items, wet specimens, and we also have a seance room where we're going to begin seance classes and seances, as well as wet specimen, taxidermy classes, and things of that nature. You'll find just pretty much anything dark, macabre, a good array of like candles, incense. So come on into the Glass Coffin. There's a lot of photo ops. You can take a picture in the Baroque chair that we have for every vampire queen and king. And just stop in and you'll have a great time.
welcome to Boulder Creek Cafe. We've been open since the year 2000. We've been at this location since 2008. We originally started across the street. We were there for about 8 years, and the place just really blew up. The locals loved it. We were at a point where we had a line out the door just about every lunch shift. So when the time came to expand and bigger, we moved into what was now an ex-card shop. So you can see we kind of pay homage with the tires on the wall, which serves as sound eaters. But that we've been vegan, vegetarian since the time we've opened. We are just looking to sell kind of comfort food, kind of give a nice diner experience to those with a good Austin feel. We've had all sorts of people from the community dine with us. It's been an awesome experience, and we're still going strong.
Whatever outcome, whatever fitness background, even if no fitness background, we got you covered for the most part. Anybody that walks through the door, we can get you taken care of.
Now, could you tell me what separates this gym from your typical gym, your average gym?
Just about everything, man. Atmosphere, just the availability of everything that we have to do. Our ability to meet you wherever you're at, from a work capacity standpoint, fitness history, again, even if you're not. It's very goals-oriented, goals-driven, but also there's a focus on durability, longevity, making sure people are getting to where they need to be, but in a way that's going to be sustainable, safe. As far as the general fitness stuff, sports performance, all kind of your usual fat loss, overall movement capacity, all those goals. And then for real specific, we got Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, we got wrestling classes that go on, gi, Jiu-Jitsu, all kinds of stuff. I mean, the experience they have working with people at an extremely high level. So we've had UFC veterans in here, military vets. A lot of those are the same people, like Tim Kennedy, for example. Been working with WWE guys, NFL, MLB, kind of you name it. Our guys have worked with them in some capacity.
Just finished wrapping up a couple photo shoots, because you know me, gotta do photo shoot pretty much everywhere I go. And oh yeah, we found these amazing steps here. Oh wow, look at this. Amazing. Oh, perfect. And yeah, now we're just chilling, you know, taking it easy. Probably gonna be heading back to the hotel, really regroup, get centered, get our cell phones charged and all that stuff, get more batteries for this camera, all that kind of stuff. So just chilling out now, and then probably heading out later, seeing what goes down. What up? Wow, this piece is really good. It's got it's well dressed on top, and it's Detroit style pizza. Oh yes. So Monday night in Austin, not much going on. Streets are pretty barren, and so are the bars. Oh, and also found Angelina Eberly, the Austin badass. Definitely check that out on the History Channel. She's pretty crazy. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. For more Oddventures, check them out at www.catacomb.tv.